Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are all in good health. Firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Diandra Daniswara Rahmadita, and I'm from Hidayatullah Islamic Junior High School Semarang. Ladies and gentlemen, since ages ago, we often hear the word unity, especially when it's related to our country and nationality. In the past, when it comes to unity, elders discussed about ways to prevent us from being easily pitted against each other by the invader countries and how to keep our harmony strong in the midst of so many differences. But now, the problems we're facing are no longer foreign countries and cultural difference. Now, I would like to ask you to observe our condition today. Right at this very moment, every country in the world, including Indonesia, are facing a critical situation called a pandemic. Just as in dealing with what has passed, we also need unity in dealing with the pandemic that's threatening our country. Unity. What is unity? Well, ladies and gentlemen, in my honest opinion, unity is like a glue. A glue, a cement, a foundation, and everything else that builds, makes, or connects something. Unity is the state of being joined together. It is unity that brings us together, building a strong nation that is full of peace and joy. Now, let's use our logical thinking. Imagine baking a cake, but with an uncompleted mix. What will a cake taste like when you only mix it with flour, eggs, and water? Horrible. Where are the sugar, the chocolate, the butter, or the cinnamon? There's no unity. Imagine a country, but with incohesive citizens. No unity at all. It'll be a total chaos. We don't want to imagine anything about a country like that. Now, let's talk about our situation today. In these past 2 years, we are facing the COVID-19 pandemic. Starting in March 2020, COVID entered Indonesia and our life changed. Day by day, the media kept providing us informations and updates on the virus spread. Turns out, this disease affected every segment in our country. From the news, we knew that infected people were increasing and people went all panicked. Shops were closed down, people lost their loved ones, they became jobless, the entrance to any places and even the country border was closed. The economy was decreasing and it felt like time stopped. And not so long after, crimes were all over the place. People needed incomes to survive, and there's not many options for them to gain honest money. There were lacks of health facilities since so many people got infected, and it made the number of victims went bigger. Hospitals, hotels, and many public facilities were turned into emergency health facilities. In September 15, 2021, Indonesia was the 4th country with the highest number of COVID patients, and there were around 4 million infected people based on the data by Worldometer. The government tried their best in overcoming the situation, such as the PPKM policy with different levels based on the COVID status in every city, vaccinations, and campaigns about health protocols. Indonesia once got the worst phase in June to July 2021. Since then, the protocols went tighter and tighter. In such a critical situation, we as citizens need to unite. Unity is all about having the same point of view. In this case, we have to unite for the good of our beloved country by following the new policies from the government. But unfortunately, there are still some people who are not in line with the program that has been determined by the government. As a simple example, some citizens decided to rebel against the health protocols, making the COVID case worse in Indonesia. Sometimes, all they care is the comfort of themselves or their group. Disregarding health protocols will clear the road for the virus to spread, and this puts yourself and others at risk. Not everyone has the same endurance. As a different example, let's see the implementation of PPKM. Traveling restrictions are in place to break the COVID chain transmission. However, there are still many people who took non-emergency trips and making it very risky. This kind of difference in perspective makes COVID much more difficult to handle. By not being in the same page, we cannot work together to make the COVID case decrease, and we cannot just blame the government for the lack of everything at this time. The government made the rules, and as citizens, we have to obey it. Our main concern now is everyone's safety. In the midst of a situation like this, we must be able to suppress our ego so we can jointly save the nation and country from the effects of the pandemic. COVID-19 is real. It's not a bedtime story, not a fairy tale, but it is a nightmare. We need to work together to overcome it. The government, the health workers, and all the citizens. We have to set and have the same vision. We have to unite to save our country. That's the importance of unity in the midst of pandemic. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this kind of situation, let's unify our minds and actions to fight COVID together. Let's do it now, and let's do it together. Thank you for listening to my speech. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ada yang salah tadi.